Hello, and welcome to another edition of Coffee Talk with immigration attorney Brian D. Lerner. In this particular episode, I'd like to talk a bit about the H-2Bs and why are the H-2Bs important? Well, for a lot of times when someone needs to come to the U.S. to work temporarily, the only realistic visa they can get is the H-2B. As many of you know, the H-1B, that requires a college degree, among other things, and it generally gets used up 5 days after the window opens. The window opening for the H-2Bs is not quite as bad as the H-1B, but if you don't know what you're doing, it is likely you're never going to get it approved. So I want to go through just a bit of a procedure here, a bit of a summary of what needs to be done, when it should be done, and so forth, so you get a better idea if you qualify at least, or think you qualify for the H-2B, then give my office a call and we can go from there. So first of all, the H-2B is not limited to any type of position. You can have a degree, you don't need a degree. You can have a high school education, you don't need a high school education, so forth. The issue and the key with the H-2B is that it be temporary. Now, the next question everybody's asking is, well, what is temporary? Well, that is defined in several different kinds of ways. It's statutorily defined. You can't just file for an H-2B and say, it's temporary, therefore I want it. No, it has to be under different categories of temporariness in order to qualify. Now, the two most popular definitions of temporary are either peak load or seasonal. Okay, so let's just take some crystal clear examples. Seasonal might be when, for example, let's say you have a restaurant in Boston and during 6 months of the year you have tons of business making, clam chowder, and you need cooks and you need all kinds of people to fill the restaurants. And that's during the spring and summertime. And then after that, not so much, because it becomes winter and you don't have the various people coming for the business. So that would be more of a seasonal. A peak load could be, for example, let's say there's an accounting firm, and for the 6 months leading up to April 15th, give or take, or 9 months, whatever, it starts gradually getting more busy. So it becomes a peak load situation where you need to have somebody come and either do the books or contact the clients and fill out the questionnaires or organize things. So that, and then there's another one that's called a one-time occurrence. So let's say that you have a big office and you're going to be moving, and it's going to take a year to get everything moved to the new office or set up, or you're going to be installing a new computer system and upgrading. That could be a one-time thing. Or let's say you're an older person, you broke your hip and you need somebody to come and take care of you for a year until it gets better. So those are the more popular ones. The definition of the least popular one is intermittent need. Okay, like if you live somewhere and it rains periodically here and there, that would be raining intermittently. To be honest, those virtually always get denied. So you're not really going to want to do an intermittent need if there's any way around it, which, to be honest with you, there usually is. Now, with the H-2B, first what you're going to need to do once you have defined the temporariness is you need to file the prevailing wage request. And the prevailing wage request goes with the proper government agency, and it basically says this is what that person's supposed to get paid for this type of position. So obviously the definition of the position and the background and so forth is important. And then once you get that back, you can then go online and file at the iCert portal, which actually is located in Chicago, but you can file it anywhere through the internet portal, and that's when you will get a notice of acceptance. Now, once you get the notice of acceptance, you will begin recruitment. Okay. Understand that the H-2B is equivalent basically to a perm for the green card. So essentially for the H-2B, you are showing why there are no available U.S. workers for this position, which is why you have to do the recruitment. So generally, the filing of the recruitment is 15 business days. So Sunday and weekday ads must run within the 14 days. And make sure you get the ad in the proper place. Obviously, if you put it in somewhere that has 3 viewers in the rural areas of Alaska, that probably isn't going to work. And then you should also submit an order with the SWA, that's the State Workforce Agency, and that basically goes online for at least 10 days. And then once you get the response from all the recruitment, obviously there has to be somebody at the company that will interview and determine whether these people qualify or not, and if not, why not. And so you need to respond with the recruitment report at the end of those 15 days in which to get the certification. And what the certification is a document or approval by the Department of Labor that in fact there are no available U.S. workers for the position. And then what they do is they file or you file at the USCIS in which to get the H-2B approved. So there's a lot more issues, of course, that you have to worry about with the H-2B, but at least procedurally, this is what initially goes in and what initially has to be done. And if you can fit within one of those categories, then it's a matter of getting it done and filed and out the door. So if you like the video, click like, subscribe, and more on the coming videos. Thank you.